In this video, we're going to look at balancing blood alcohol. This is a contextualized activity that goes along with your Chapter 2 review work from the algebra review that I gave you, just so you would have some background and refresher on using this skill. So here we have the problem situation is calculating blood alcohol content. And this is really intended for you to do on your own, but I'm going to kind of guide you through it a little bit. So I'm not going to do everything on this. But if you have specific questions about a problem, I can do that out for you. But just want to make sure that the directions are clear and everything. So blood alcohol content, BAC is the abbreviation, is a measurement of how much alcohol in someone's blood. It is usually measured as a percentage. So a BAC of 0.3% is really 0.3%. So that's just a small amount. That is, there are 3 grams of alcohol for every 1,000 grams of blood. A BAC of 0.05% impairs reasoning and the ability to concentrate. A BAC of 0.3% or 0.30, they write it's the same thing, can lead to a blackout, shortness of breath, and loss of bladder control. In most states, the legal driving limit is a BAC of 0.08%, so way under that. What variables do you think might influence BAC? So for this question, just think of what you would, what do you think on your own, from your own experiences or seeing people, or just this is your own ideas, your own words. Okay, so I'm just going to write own words, thoughts, ideas. Just jot that down. There's no right or wrong answer on this one, okay? The next part here, get that down, we're going to use the formula. So in order to figure this out, we need to have some way to calculate that. So that's what this is about. BAC is usually determined by breathalyzer, urinalysis, or blood test. However, Swedish physician E.M.P. Widmark developed the following equation for estimating an individual's BAC. This formula is widely used by forensic scientists. So here it is, B equals negative 0.015 T plus 2.84 N, all divided by WG. So all these letters, they're case sensitive. They mean certain things. So you have to, read the key here. So B is the percentage of BAC. N is the number of standard drinks. And that's listed out here what they are. We need to have at least one, or else the formula won't work. W is the weight in pounds of the person. G is a gender constant, 0.68 for men and 0.55 for women. T equals the number of hours since the first drink. So looking at this equation, discuss why the items on the right of the equation make sense in calculating BAC. So again, that's just your own words, your own thoughts, own ideas. No right or wrong. So just write, a sentence or two about that. Okay. And kind of look at how the formula is designed and think, well, obviously the weight affects it, the time affects it, those kind of things. And think about the correlations and is it going to increase or decrease based on what kind of things. So just kind of, real flexible with that. The next part here, you're going to have a specific example, and you're going to need to fill all that in. So consider the case of a male student who has 3 beers and weighs 120 pounds. For this case, these values can replace the appropriate variables in the formula. What variables are still unknown in the equation? Simplify the equation as much as possible. So for that part, you're going to take this equation up here, fill in what you do know, and then simplify it. Okay, as much as you can. You're not going to be able to solve anything because there'll still be two unknowns. And then for number 4, you're actually just going to use your simplified equation that you came up with here and fill in T. And you're going to find B and jot that down in this chart. And then again, write your own ideas about what do you notice? Any patterns? Is it increasing, decreasing? What's happening with that? Okay. Number 5 is how much does the student's BAC change each hour? So for that one, you're really looking for like a slope, the rate of change. So you'd have to figure out the difference for that. So I'm going to kind of help you out with that. So since you're looking at each hour, but your hours over here are every 2 hours, you would just figure out your difference. So you're going to subtract this and find the difference of whatever those two B values are for the BAC. And then you're going to divide by 2 to get the per hour. Okay. And then once you get that, you can actually use that info, or you can just plot the info from this table right on the graph and just plot your points in there. And you have your units here as hours, and then the BAC is on the vertical axis. Okay, so a little review with graphing there. But for example, the first one, I'll give you the first answer, 0.089 an hour after. So you would have, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So mark your scale. And then I'm going to, just say this over here, help you out with that, would be 0.01. I'm going to keep kind of a small scale there, 0.02, 0.03, and so forth up the line, right? So my, let's see, 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my 0.10 up there. And I'm looking at, I may have to go off the grid a bit here at some points if required, but we'll see if it goes up or down. You'll note that. But for 1 hour, I have 0.89. So that's going to be right about here. And so I would plot that dot, and then you would figure out for 2 and think about, do you think that's going to go, this way or this way? Okay. Now for the next page, for number 7, going to use that same equation that you simplified down and just plug 8 in this time. Okay, so you're going to come out with an answer and think if that makes sense. Like if it's, 52 or something, or if it's -5, like do those make sense? Or is it kind of in the ballpark of what would work? So that's where we think about like the restrictions on domain for the time. So it probably times out, right? So number 8, how long would it take for this student's BAC to be 0.08%, the legal limit? How long will it take for the alcohol to be completely metabolized, resulting in BAC over 0.0? So I'm going to use the simplified equation. So if you don't want to see that yet, don't look, but I have to kind of guide you on this one. I know I've had a couple of questions, but if the simplified equation is B equals negative 0.015 T, so that way you can know, you can check you got that right, plus 0.104. That's what that came out to be. And in this case, we're trying to find the time, how long it'll take for B to be 0. So we're going to just plug in for 0.08 was the first one, right? Okay, sorry about that. So we have 0.08 is the legal limit that we want to put in there. So 0.08 equals negative 0.015t plus 0.104, and you're just going to subtract both, this 0.104 from both sides, and then divide by negative 0.015 to solve for t. So you're just using your algebra skills there on that one. For the second part, you're then gonna plug in 0. So sorry about that. So this one you're gonna solve t. The second part, it's the same thing. You're just doing 0 now instead of the 0.8. So that's part 2. Okay. Then for number 9, we have a different scenario. You're plugging in the values that you know, and you're figuring out n down here for part B. And for the graph, you are going to just use the information that you had, or you could use your simplified, equation there and plot the points. So if you have a little bit of a hard time with that one, just let me know. Try your best on this one. That might be a little trickier. And I will give you the full solutions and the key and everything, when you're done with it, when you turn it in. If you have a particular issue with one problem, like if you turn it in and you say, I'd like some feedback on this one, and it's within the 3-day grace period, and I can give you a hint, and you can try again and see if you can get it right. But really, most of this is based on your effort and trying and working it out. But there is the part of answers do count a bit. But you should still get a really good grade, even if you get something a little bit wrong, as long as you've attempted it. Okay. So that's it for this. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great day.